Welcome to this explainer on the architecture of resilience, where we're looking at how we can actually build consistency through recovery. Look, if you're a busy professional, you already know exactly how demanding life can get. You also know a pretty unavoidable truth. No matter how disciplined or perfect your routines seem on paper, they are absolutely going to get disrupted. So today we're going to talk about exactly how to handle those moments. Think about it for a second. Did you miss a habit or break a routine today? Or, maybe yesterday. Honestly, if you're tuning into this explainer, there's a really high chance you're carrying around a little bit of guilt over a schedule that just kind of went off the rails. You had a plan, you were ready to conquer the day, and then, well, life happened, right? Just take a breath and let that guilt go. Because here's exactly why those routines break down in the first place. We build these complex systems to help us succeed, and then, boom, inevitable disruptions. I mean, we've all been there. It's that quick sync that somehow morphs into a 2-hour ordeal, crazy travel delays, pressing family responsibilities that pop up out of nowhere, or just a sudden shift in client priorities. These are not failures on your part, they're just the standard facts of professional life. Even the absolute most rock-solid routines are going to face interruptions. To really get past this, we need to completely shatter a fairly pervasive myth. So many of us mistakenly believe that consistency means never missing a single day. Maintaining this perfect, completely unbroken streak. But the reality? Consistency is actually built through recovery, not perfection. I really want to emphasize this paradigm shift here. True consistency isn't about never falling off the wagon. It's entirely about how you recover when you do. And what's absolutely fascinating is that both research and real lived experience completely back this up. Long-term success just doesn't depend on avoiding setbacks, which, let's be real, is practically impossible anyway. Instead, it depends entirely on your rebound speed. How quickly can you return to those productive behaviors? That specific transition time between the disruption and getting back on track. That is what actually dictates your resilience. Think about how liberating this is for a second. A missed workout? That absolutely does not ruin a long-term fitness goal. A missed planning session on a really chaotic evening? That doesn't destroy your productivity for the entire week. A difficult day where literally nothing went right does not erase months of hard-earned progress. You haven't lost the whole shebang. Your foundation is still right there waiting for you. Which brings us to the core mindset of highly resilient individuals. They fundamentally understand that interruptions are perfectly normal. When things go sideways, they don't sit around dwelling on what went wrong. Instead, they shift their focus entirely to their very next action. They rely on simple fallback plans to regain momentum, taking their energy away from what just broke and pouring it straight into what they can actually control right now. So, if you're wondering how to actually figure out that next action, here is basically the ultimate magic tool for any busy professional. The second things break down, ask yourself one really simple question. What is the smallest action I can take today to reconnect with my routine? Not the biggest action, not a total reboot of your entire week. Just the smallest action. It entirely bypasses the overwhelm and distills your entire recovery down to a single manageable step. Let's break that down into a really practical framework for the next time disruption hits. Step 1, accept the interruption. Just don't fight reality. Step 2, identify that smallest step we were literally just talking about. And step 3, restart positive momentum. By taking just that one tiny step, you spark this amazing psychological shift that is very often enough to get your entire system completely back on track. So as leaders, as busy professionals, here is your challenge going forward. You have to proactively design your habits around this exact recovery mindset. You need to build systems that make it easier to restart than it is to quit. Because if your system requires absolute 100% perfection to function, it's incredibly fragile. A genuinely resilient system anticipates the disruption, and it has fallback plans built right in, making stepping back into the routine the absolute path of least resistance. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought to chew on this week. When life inevitably disrupts your schedule, because it will, what strategies actually help you return to your routines? What does your own personal architecture of resilience look like? Just keep those fallback plans in mind, focus on the smallest next step, and remember, your true power always lies in the recovery. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.